Hi, my name is Keith, and welcome to week 5 of my weekly weight loss vlog, Up the Peak. Now, you might remember this shirt from the week 1 gag of My Clothes Don't Fit No More. And I'm proud to say that the shirt fits better, but it is still a bit snug around the midsection. But I can wear it, and of course, the sleeves are a bit short. But there's actually a story behind this shirt. Back in 2016, when I was living in Atlanta, Georgia, I did work as an extra on various TV shows. And one of those shows was actually a show called The Vampire Diaries. Now, if you don't believe me, alright, this is the shirt I wore. This is the jacket I wore. And the scene is in episode 6, I think. It takes place in a diner where there's 3 women, or two women and a vampire dude. And one of the women, I guess 2 of them are there's something called sirens. And I'm over the shoulder of one of the women, slightly out of focus. And then I have a 1-second close-up where she turns around and looks, and I'm kind of doing this scowl at her. So if you don't believe me, go to Netflix, look up Vampire Diaries, Season 8, Episode 6. This is the outfit I wore for that. So the fact that this shirt fits better than week 1 is a heck of an accomplishment. I'm very happy about that. But I have to lose another 30 or 40 pounds before I get to the weight I was in that episode. I was probably about 330 when I did that episode. And as of the last weigh-in, I was 374. Now, granted, that was a week ago. So I could have... Hopefully I've lost more weight. But I won't find out until I weigh in this next week. So this is the Vampire Diaries outfit. I was very lucky. When the show does the casting call, and I had put in for it, they needed guys that looked like truck drivers, because it was supposed to be like a truck driver diner or something. And I submitted it, and I got, accepted to be an extra. Now, that doesn't mean anything. I learned when I got there was like 50-some people there, all that got accepted to be extras. But that doesn't mean you're actually going to be an extra on the show. So you do this whole processing thing, and there's a lot of sitting around and waiting. They do provide food for you, which was pretty cool. And then you're brought into the set, which was a diner set. And at one point, they put everybody that was there into specific spots in the background. And then they shuffled us all out. And then a couple hours later, they started bringing people back in. Only they couldn't get everybody in there. I guess they did something to do with the camera setup. And I was sitting up at a bar at one point. And then they moved me to like the front where the camera was. And, I'm like, oh crap, and they had this whole scene, and I'm sitting there, reading a newspaper and or eating or something. I don't remember actually. And like the actress is doing her dialogue scene. It's a phone call over on the side there. And I'm sitting there, this camera in my face, and I'm like, holy crap, just be cool. So they do the whole scene, and Ian Somerhalder, one of the stars, I think he plays Damien. I never really watched the show. Sorry. Well, as we're wrapping up, star of the show, cool dude, didn't even have to acknowledge my presence as an extra. Looks over at me, smiles, and gives me a thumbs up. And I thought, that's the coolest thing right there. And I kind of smiled and nodded back, like, all right, great. So they shuffled me out, and as I'm walking out, one of the guys, I think he was an assistant director, he keeps looking at me, and I'm thinking like, oh crap, what'd I do? Would I pick my nose or something? And one of the production assistants, I think he was, I'm pretty sure he was, pretty nice guy. He asked me, he goes, are you available to come back on Friday? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Obviously I'm available to come back on Friday. It's like, I need the work, I need the money. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'm free that day. So I come back that Friday, and there's a lot of other different people there now. And I'm thinking like, okay, all right, Be cool. You know, I mean, they already used you once, so they don't use you again. It's not the end of the world, right? So, as they're filing everybody into the set again, I don't make the cutoff, and I get sent back to the holding area, which is fine. You know, like I was excited. Like the first day, I got to kind of sit there, and I'm hanging out with this cool dude I met. He was like somebody that's been an extra for like a long time now. Real nice guy. And we're sitting there kind of just, you know, shooting the breeze. And the production assistant comes in and goes, "Where is he? Where is he?" And he looks around the room and he points right at me and goes, "We need you on set." And I was like, "Did you hear that? They need me on set." I was like, this little cool moment. I mean, it's like, being an extra isn't exactly glamorous. There's a whole extra subculture where the extras are in competition with each other about who can get seen the most. I never really bought into that. For me, it was just kind of cool to be there. Having been someone that had gone to film school, had always had a love for filmmaking and productions and whatnot. So just being there was the treat for me. Seeing the crew do their thing, seeing the actors and whatnot. The fact that I actually got to be used as an extra was just an added bonus. So they moved me in there, and they put me in my little spot. So, like, I'm over her shoulder, and there's a scene where there's an Amber Alert on everybody's phone, and she starts looking around, and everyone starts staring at her, and she looks over her shoulder, and there I am, wearing that outfit, just, you know, with that stare at her, and, I mean, it was like a 1 second close-up. That's all it was 1 second. But it was a cool 1 second, and I got some cool, like, kudos from some of my friends, especially in my hometown. They were like, "You were on Vampire Diaries." And I was like, "Yeah, but it was like for 1 second." And they were like, "But you were on it." And I was like, "All right, cool," you know. So that's the story of that shirt. So let's talk about week 5. Week 5 saw me continue the diet. This week I had a cheeseburger. Now, when I say I had a cheeseburger, I had a modified cheeseburger. I didn't have your traditional cheeseburger, but it was pretty close. I used 90% lean meat. I grilled it on a George Foreman grill. What I did was I actually used like lettuce, like a shell. I sliced the tomatoes. I put them inside the lettuce. And then I sprinkled some mozzarella cheese in there. And then I put the burger on top. Then I put a little light mayo and a little tiny bit of ketchup. And then I wrapped it up in the lettuce and had like a lettuce burger. It was actually fantastic. This week for the walk, I upgraded to the 8 laps. I did find out that there's a good chance that my 8 laps isn't the 4 miles I thought it was. When I checked it with the vehicle I had, it said it was only a 0.4 mile for each of the laps. So if that's true, then that means instead of doing 4 miles, I'm only doing 3.2 miles. But on day 4, what I did was there is a mile perimeter track around the fairgrounds. Now, I've been avoiding that because of the weather, because of the mud. But this week, I was able to do it because the weather was good enough on day 4. I was able to do 3 laps around that, and then I did 2 laps on the interior. So I pushed myself really hard. I got through it, and day 5, I was freaking shot. I got out to the track. I got 1 lap, one of the 1.1 mile laps, and I was beat. I said, you know what? I pushed really hard all week. I still have day 6 and 7. There was a snowstorm on the way, so I said 1 lap's just going to have to do it this week. So then day 6, sure enough, we got slammed with snow. I think it worked out. I think it was about 16 inches altogether. So what I did is I went out there 3 times to the day to periodically shovel. So I ended up burning a ton of calories on day 6. And then day 7 was more cleanup. Day 7, I had to do the front walk and driveway one more time. Then I had a ton of stuff to shovel in the back deck. So I burned a ton of calories on day 7 too. I don't know if I'll be able to walk for day 1 of week 6, but I'll figure something out. So I won't have a weight update for you until next week, but things are still going good. I'm still going strong. I feel wonderful. That's the important thing. I want to give a big shout out to my 4 subscribers. That's right, we're up to 4 subscribers. So nothing but love for you all. This is going to wrap up week 5 of Up the Peak. thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like it. If you care to share it, I'd appreciate it. And if you subscribe, hey, maybe we'll be up to 5 subscribers for next week. Okay, well, that concludes Up the Peak, Week 5. Thank you again for watching.